Yes.
Okay.
I really
She had a broken neck,
A broken neck.
yes, some fractured vertebrae. I believe she doesn't have any feeling in her right hand.
Ms. Hill, is that a result of this accident here?
Yes, sir.
Ay, ay. Hi, Mom. Thank you so much for coming. So she's charged, you are charged, man, with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. It looks like you had court on the 3rd of this month. No one appeared. And so we issued the warrant. So right now your case is in warrant status. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, man. Okay, please.
Sure. On August 11, 2024, officers were dispatched to a crash call in Houston, Texas. They spoke with the witness, who advised that he arrived on scene soon after it happened. And then he observed defendant in the driver's seat of her vehicle, and he observed her vehicle crash into another vehicle in the middle of the roadway. Defendant's vehicle had heavy front damage and was facing oncoming traffic. The complainant's vehicle also had heavy front end damage. Officers spoke with the defendant, who stated she was driving at the time of the crash. The car was registered to the defendant. The defendant appeared disoriented, had swaying, staggering, and had slurred speech and a moderate odor of an alcoholic beverage. Santa Cruz sobriety tests were administered, and HGN had 6 out of 6 clues. Walk and turn and one leg stand were not completed due to injuries to defendant's legs. Defendant was taken to Ben Taub ICU. A blood warrant was drafted and blood was taken.
You don't have the results of the blood, do you?
Check, Your Honor.
Do we have a strong odor of alcohol? Do we have,
There's station by a odor of alcohol.
okay, because that's, I was wondering how,
Yes,
okay.
and there's no blood results.
Do they, again, I'm assuming they didn't do a DRE. So we know whether it's pills, whether it's
No, Your Honor.
marijuana. I mean,
Not that I know, Judge. I don't believe so.
Ms. Hill, if I drug test you now, what's going to show up?
because I think she'll be fine.
My concern is if you're taking pills, right? That's my concern, is that if you're driving in a car, you're taking pills, you're about to fall asleep and you end up wrecking. And
She said she will have no problem taking a drug test for that, Judge.
yeah, I mean, my concern is this, is that it looks like you're injured pretty bad, right? And they're going to give you a lot of dope to help kill the pain. And that's always when it starts. And then it becomes a very, very slippery slope, because once you got that monkey on your back, meaning pain pills, it is very, very difficult to shed. I mean, in some people, it's almost impossible, and they become lifelong addicts, and they're in and out of the pokey. That's what I'm trying to prevent with you. So I am ordering you now not to use any alcohol or any dope whatsoever. If I find that you're using, I'm going to put you in jail. You're going to be healing on your own in custody. Do you understand? When I mean no dope, I mean no dope from any sources whatsoever, no self-medicating. I'm telling you, I'm going to drug test you like crazy, and I want to know that you're not using. Do you understand me, man?
Yes, sir.
Do you have a Texas driver license, ma'am?
Yes.
Do you have liability insurance in your name?
No, sir.
Then you're not allowed to drive. No driving whatsoever until I see that you have liability insurance with your name on it and you get court approval from us. You will be signing an affidavit with me today promising me that you're not going to drive. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I will reinstate your bond now, meaning that I'm going to take the warrant away. This is the only time I'm going to do it. If you miss court again.
It was at ACI-OC. We issued a warrant, there was no bond.
Okay, so we'll have to set our bond now. I mean, no, well, I guess we set the bond at 2501. I'll just keep it at that amount, but we'll give her a PR bond. So I'm going to give you a PR bond today, Ms. Hill. This is the only one that you're going to get. You pick up another DWI, you start violating conditions. Serious as a heart attack, into jail you will go. Do you understand? Mom, should we be concerned? Is she okay? You know her better than anyone else. All I'm trying to do is, I don't want her to go to jail again. And I don't know if she has a drug or alcohol issue that we need to address. You know her better than anyone else. And the problem is if she goes to jail, who do you think she's going to call begging for her to bond out? You. And right. And then when they put on the water show on you, it's going to be very difficult for you not to do it. And then you get to be on the hook for a bunch of money. I'm trying to prevent that. So do we have any drug or alcohol issues with Miss Hill?
Right now, she has been sober.
What's the drug of choice? Is it pills?
It was marijuana, but she's been sober. She made that decision before the accident to stop. So,
Before the accident or after the accident?
no, before the accident.
We have this accident though, and the blood test gonna show something.
Possibly. I don't know what the blood test.
And I don't know, but I'm putting you on notice.
Yeah.
No more. I'm gonna test you like crazy. I hope that you understand this, Miss Hill.
I do.
Okay.
If it means anything, I do think that she has had the scared straight moment with this accident. She's on her own taking an alcohol awareness class. I did not tell her to take that. So I know that she's been proactive in her own recovery during this time.
Look how banged up you are. Look at your hand, man. Look. I mean, you're lucky you didn't kill yourself. You were really lucky that you're not paralyzed. I mean, I think, are you? Be careful. These small decisions you make now will impact you for the rest of your life. You've got a great lawyer. He will help you out. You must maintain contact with him. I will waive your appearance, but I'm telling you, I'm going to drug test you like crazy. Be ready, because within the next couple of weeks, you will be called to take a drug test. If you don't show up, I will issue a warrant. Do you understand me, Ms. Hill? So be ready. If you don't have a prescription, and even if you do have a prescription for something, you can still abuse it, and that's what we don't want. Mom, please be careful, and you've got one very short life to live. Okay, I'll have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive until you get insurance. At that point, Mo,
Thank you, Your Honor.
she doesn't have any prior DWIs, does she?
No, Judge.
No, Your Honor.
Okay,
No priors at all.
Ms. Hill, we want you to live a long life, not like this.
Thank you.
The other thing that you need to consider, you get into this accident, if you didn't have insurance, who do you think they're going to come after? Depending on how much damage there is, $30,000, $40,000, who are they going to come after? No, whose car is this? Whose car was it? It was your car? You didn't let her borrow the car, did you?
That's what that was her.
Okay, yeah, you need to consider these things, Okay, thanks, Mo.
Thank you for your
Come
time.
on.
Thank you.
She can't leave because we're gonna need to meet with Rachel for the PR bond and for bond conditions, though.
Thanks, Judge.
Okay.
Hi, Judge.
Hey,
Steven's bringing out Dustin Eli. He's not going to be making bond, but we still need to put bond conditions in case someone decides to gratuitously pay it.
so we're doing it on Mr. Bonilla. How is he? I'm gonna go visit him because he's going to DDRP, right? So we're gonna go visit him within the next maybe 2 months, 2.5 months, to go see how he's doing. If you want, I'll call you. You can come with us if you have any interest. Derek, do you want to talk about something while we're waiting, or?
So we need dismissals.
Got it.
Over here.
Morning, Mr. Eli.
Morning.
Speak English?
Yes,
How's jail?
not so bad. It's pretty good.
Looks pretty rough.
Yeah.
Looks like you're having a rough time, huh? Mr. Eli, on 9/2 of 22, you pick up a false report. You blow us off. Not once, not twice, but I've got your bond at 5,003 on that one. While you're out on the land, you've now picked up a DWI second. You also pick up a failure to stop and give information. On both of those cases, you're facing, well, on the DWI, you're facing up to a year in jail and a $4,000 fine. On your FSGI, which is basically leaving the scene of an accident, you're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you, sir.
On May 2nd, 2024, officers were dispatched to a convenience store in regard to a shooting in progress. Upon arrival, they searched for the vehicle, which had already left the store. Complainant Tamika reported that she was at the store when the defendant came in, and he was acting erratically, stumbling, seemed to be under the influence of something, and kept saying, "Why are you guys always fucking with me?" unprovoked. He went outside, got a gun out of his car, and fired once in the air. She described him as, yes, Your Honor. She described him as acting weird, like he was on something, and she saw a gun fall out of his waistband, saw him pick it up and saw him leave the store, get in his car and leave, and back into her car, then drive off. He came to a stop at 1900 Commonwealth, got out of his car and came into another occupied car and went to the same location and got out and started yelling. The total damages to the vehicle were $500. Defendant was taken to Bentall because he was hyperventilating and he had a high heart rate. No firearms, narcotics, or alcohol were in the vehicle. Medical results returned. Defendant was positive for opioids, cocaine, and benzodiazepine. At the time, he was admitted to the hospital.
Eli, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm extremely surprised that they didn't charge you with the gun case, aggravated assault, who knows what else. I am now revoking your bond on the false report, the first case, and I'm going to raise it up to 30,003 because you scare me. You are a complete and utter danger to the public and have no business. Do you understand? If you get out of jail, I am ordering you under home confinement and doing AA and NA classes 5 times a week with a GPS monitor on one ankle and a scram bracelet on the other, and you were to remain home all day, every day. And the only time you can go out is either to a hospital or to meet with your lawyer. Do you understand?
I had no gun on.
I'm also ordering you as a condition of your bond not to drive. You will be signing an affidavit with me today promising you're not going to drive. I don't care what your excuse is. If you drive, I will have a contempt hearing. You'll be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you get into a car and drive. Tell me, how long have you been in jail, Mr. Eli?
3 days.
Are you still coming down?
Yes,
How is it?
pretty terrible.
Sucks, right? Yeah. Especially when you're on opiates. It's probably one of the worst come downs you can have. You're lucky you're not seizing. I'm going to tell you now, Shreya, that I'd like to do a TRAS on Mr. Eli. And I'm not gonna entertain any offers until we do it, and I need to know if he needs treatment into a facility based on his priors. I mean, this has been going on for the last 5 years now, where he's been using hardcore substances, and I'm really afraid that you're gonna kill someone. You're on something, you allegedly have a gun, you're shooting it into the air. What goes up must come down. What if it comes down on a 5-year-old's head, Mr. Eli? Who gets charged with murder? Who's looking at life in prison? Do you think of these things? It's high time you did, because that's kind of behavior where you didn't mean to do it. I didn't know that what I was doing. I was doing it. And then someone's looking, and even though you don't get life, you still might get 40. Typically, when I see these cases, it's 30 years gone. Do you understand, Mr. Eli? I will have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive, and then we'll have you placed back into the jail, and we're going to have you evaluated, and then we'll go from there. Do you understand, sir? Okay. Good luck to you. Come on.